welcome everyone to episode 1 of Pigeon Podcast. I'm your host, Sai, and I am joined by my lovely co-host, Jam. As always, Jam, say hi.
Hello.
Alright, I hope everybody is doing well today. It is a Tuesday for us. This episode will be dropping on Friday. The episodes will always drop on Fridays as early in the morning as I happen to be awake, because my sleep schedule is absolutely fucked lately. So, today is going to be a bird-heavy episode for the first official episode where we just straight up go into this. So, I recently saw a video that... Alright, let me start this way. So, everyone can relate to scrolling through TikTok or YouTube Shorts or whatever, Instagram Reels, whatever, late at night, right? You're bored, you can't sleep. Fuck it, I'm just gonna scroll TikTok. I do this often. In my Discord server, I post them late at night and then I get yelled at and told to go to sleep. Well, the other night, I saw a TikTok that my TikTok For You page is mostly just animals and mental health and fantastically allied LGBTQIA plus stuff. It's great. Tailored to me, right? Sometimes TikTok likes to throw you a curveball out of left field to just fuck with you. And so, knowing that I love animals and knowing that, this was an animal video, it thought, this is the perfect video for her. That video has scarred me for life, and there are things that you cannot unsee in this world. So, I saw this video of a seagull standing on the street carrying I would say foot-long fat rat in its mouth, and he just swallows the motherfucker whole. He just tips his little bird head back and goes, delicious. Tasty rat, dead rat. It was awful and horrible. And I didn't like seagulls to begin with. I've always had a fear of birds, which is very funny considering my online persona is a chicken. But I've from a young age developed a fear of birds, which I have gotten over mostly, I would say. I like birds. I like animals. I think they're fascinating. I think birds are fascinating. So, what I did is I spent a good couple of hours this morning at 4:30 in the morning when I couldn't sleep, compiling a list of birds that I think would be interesting for Jam and I to rate. We're just gonna give them an overall score. I'm gonna throw out some facts about them. We're gonna discuss how they look. I'm gonna show you guys pictures of them and everything. And we're gonna rate them S tier to F tier. S being the superb, the best, the top of the class. And F being why the fuck did the universe decide that this should exist as a creature? So we're going to do 10 birds overall. We've got 2 special mentions. And we're just going to kind of see how this goes, right? So, Jam, are you afraid of birds, or are you just kind of birds are cool?
I'm perfectly fine. I'm perfectly fine with them.
Okay. Because, I don't know. I just, I'm not as bad as I used to be. But I tell you what, I swear to God, seagulls used to be calling my names in parking lots. I'm not going to say my, real name, but they used to, just be, calling my name, I swear on my life. And then on top of that, anytime we would be out somewhere, we'd go up to Chicago and we'd go to, the museums and shit.
Ignore that. Just Alice in the background. Oh, fuck.
Was he singing?
No, he shouted, "Oh, get roasted!" because he's playing the game. Yeah. Uh-huh. Just moving on from that one. Walls are
Oh.
too thin.
By the way, since me and Jam are obviously across the pond from each other, and neither of us are of a particular amount of money, we don't. I mean, I live alone, but Jam unfortunately is stuck within the walls and confines of a house with other people, and so
Yep.
she doesn't exactly have an office space, which is fine. You know, someday when we make better money at some point, maybe we'll have office spaces. I don't know, but sometimes we get random snippets,
Snippet to bits.
snippet divots from others, and it's kind of funny. But anywho, so let's look at some birds. All right, so Jam, I've got this lovely bird rating scale. Can you see it?
Okay. Yeah, just about. I see some of them. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna make them bigger and everything. So.
Okay.
All right. So, the first bird is a bird that I would say is closer to our hearts, just because we know somebody who identifies as this bird.
Yeah.
Which was more funny to say than I thought it was gonna be. Is I identify as a kiwi bird. So this is the kiwi bird. And first of all, I think these are adorable. I think kiwi birds are super fucking cute. They're like, I mean, this one's little. I guess they get bigger than this. But, like, it's cute, right?
Yeah.
You don't think kiwi birds are cute?
I do.
Something about it's throwing you off, right?
It is. I can tell you if you want.
Yeah, no, that's the whole point of this. Just discuss. We got to give it points.
So it's adorable. Yeah, it would probably be like AOS if we left it at like how cute it was. But the fact is, like, it's a useless bird. It doesn't have wings from the look of it.
It is.
It's just fluff. And that it literally just scurries across the floor looking like a wild fucking maniac at night.
So I do have some facts. You are correct.
I have one about it too, and
Okay.
I hate it. Like, I don't know how like true it is. I heard that like when they like go to lay an egg, it's like the same size as them, and it pushes their ribs and stuff out of place because of how big the egg is compared to them. And I hate that. I fucking hate that.
I
really do.
I do have a little bit of information about the kiwi egg. It does say here that the egg averages 15% of the female's body weight, compared to like the ostrich, which the egg only takes up 2%. So the egg takes up 15% of the female kiwi's body, which is insane. When the thing that grosses me out a little bit is so when the egg is first like hatched, this is how weird the babies are. When the babies are first hatched, the belly of the baby chick is so swollen with yolk, it sustains them for they don't eat for their first few days because their belly still has the yolk in it, and they eat off of that internally.
Jesus.
Right? So, but I have some less horrifying facts. You are correct, they cannot fly. They do have tiny wings, but they can't fly. Their feathers, and you can kind of see this in the photo too. Their feathers are more like fur than feathers. Yeah, they have like really loose feathers that molt throughout the year, but unlike any other bird, these guys, like, if you felt them, it almost feels like fur more than it feels like a feather. They are definitely mostly nocturnal. This is the only bird that has nostrils at the end of its beak.
Really?
Yes. This is the only bird in the world with nostrils at the end of its beak, which, to be honest, is news to me Like, I thought, you know, but
Wait, other birds
so
have nostrils.
other
don't
birds have nostrils on their beak. I had to look this up, but most birds, their nostrils sit higher up on the beak and closer to their face.
they? Oh,
Whereas
okay.
the kiwi bird's nostrils are at the very tip of their beak.
That's it.
It's weird. Its sense of smell, apparently because of this, is second to none. It has no tail feathers, but apparently they have whiskers like cats do.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I was struggling to find a picture that really, like, showed them, but apparently they do. And this one's kind of obscure, doesn't really give us much, but most female birds only have one ovary, and kiwis actually have two.
Okay.
But yeah, they live 25 to 50 years.
Jesus.
Which, I know, that's a long fucking time. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. They catch mice, they catch millipedes, centipedes, slugs. Spiders,
Slug.
and they're great. They hail from a place that I've always wanted to visit, New Zealand. They're a New Zealand based bird, and I love the New Zealand. Lord of the Rings was filmed in New Zealand. But Hobbiton is in New Zealand. But I like the kiwi. I think it's an interesting. It's weird, but it's not. To me, it's not the weirdest one we're gonna talk about.
Okay.
But you definitely seem off-put by this thing, and you're right. I do agree. It is a pretty useless bird. It's a pretty useless bird. If we link up like the cuteness factor with,
That's exactly where I was gonna put it. I was gonna put between B and C. To be
yeah,
honest.
I'm thinking let's put it at B because, you know, I'd put it at U for useless, but it's cute. But it's also like, what's the point of it? I mean, sure
it's adorable, but its survivability drops when it has eggs.
Yeah, its survivability just drops on existing. I mean, it can't fly. It doesn't look like it's very, like, rough and tumble. Like, it looks like something could just get up real fast.
Yeah.
It's not bad, but it's not, you know, it's not great. Let's just say that. Now, the next bird is the pigeon. And pigeons obviously hold a special place in my heart. Because I named the podcast the Pigeon Podcast. For as much as I have been afraid of birds in my life, I think pigeons are extremely fascinating. People give them so much shit. They call them sky rats. They call them all these different things. Most places have pigeons. And I don't know, pigeons are just, they're funny to me. They're almost cartoonish to me. But I, just off of looking at it, it isn't the cutest bird. It's not. It's got cool colors, it's interesting, but I don't think it's all that cute. Do you think it's cute?
I think it's adorable. I love the neck as well, like the pinkish,
purple,
bluish, greenish.
Yeah, you can see like the different, and I do. I definitely think that pigeons are very interesting and cool. Also, I found out that pigeons do come in different colors. So there are pigeons out there that are various colors.
There's like brown ones too.
There's brown ones. There's ones that are like a lighter whitish color with like some pink and peachy colors on them. There's an all gray one that's like got a you know how like peacocks spread their butt feathers and make the big fan? So there's a pigeon that has that, but it's kind of like a mohawk on its head, and it's just like these really pretty little gray feathers. It's like a royal pigeon or something ridiculous.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they're really, here, I'll bring up a picture real quick. What is it? It's like pigeon with mohawk. This is gonna result in something weird. I'm sure. I don't remember exactly what it's called. Oh, it's the Crown Victoria pigeon. But it looks like this. Upload this. Alright, so this is the...
Oh, I kind of hate that.
Really? I think he's kind of cool.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that one.
Now, to be fair, this one is a baby.
Okay.
I guess, but like... I don't know, I think they're interesting.
They're definitely different, that's for sure.
But
I don't know. I don't know.
But like,
I just don't know.
We're gonna base it off the regular pigeon because
okay,
this is the pigeon everybody knows. This is the pigeon everybody sees. You know, this is the pigeon we all understand. But let me throw out some interesting pigeon facts. So pigeons are a lot smarter than people give them credit for. They're extremely intelligent. They're only one of a small number of species to pass what's called the mirror test, which is basically animals or beings that can look into a mirror and recognize their self-reflection and understand that they're looking at their own reflection, which is an extremely...
That's cool.
Yeah, it's extremely complicated to know that. Like, for a bird to be able to understand that is really cool. They can also recognize each letter in the human alphabet. They can differentiate between photographs, and they can even distinguish humans apart from each other.
That's cool.
Yeah, pigeons are way cooler than you think. Like, sure, they like are little scavengers of the streets, but they're also super like fantastically well known for their navigational abilities, because there was carrier pigeons. Pigeons were used to send messages back in the day. That was how we got things, you know, word across during wars and other times. So, it's super fascinating. Like, they will actually, like in modern times, they will memorize roads and motorways and all of these different things, and they will follow main roads and like remember directions down. Like, not that the birds are out here like, all right, I'm going to take a left on Higgins and then, you know, take a right and jump on the freeway, but like they're basically following our roads and knowing directions, and it's cool. It's very cool. They're super sociable. They mate for life, and they tend to raise 2 chicks at a time. Their hearing is fantastic. I'm a little jealous, I'm not gonna lie. And despite the social perception that pigeons are like these dirty, disease-ridden creatures, pigeons are actually super clean, and there's a little evidence to suggest that they're actually significant transmitters of any diseases.
Oh, really?
Yes. Pigeons are actually super clean beings. Like, they're always taking baths, they're always keeping themselves clean. And there is no significant evidence that suggests that they transmit diseases to anybody. And there's actually quite a few people who have pigeons as pets.
Yeah.
For me, personally, I think that pigeons are like the underdog of the bird world, where everyone's like, ew, sky rats, ew, pigeons, ew, this. And honestly, like, pigeons are S tier to me.
Yeah, I really like them too.
Like, I think pigeons are fucking dope. I think everybody needs to get off their high horses and stop being mean to the pigeons. Like, I saw a video on TikTok some time ago where this girl was, and this was in London, I believe, and she was at a restaurant, and I know pigeons over there are, like, everywhere for you guys,
Yeah.
And so she was at this restaurant and there was this little pigeon, and it was a fairly young bird still. And I guess the people, and this is just a testament to how cruel humans can be, but I guess the people who were there before were like kicking the bird around and like being super mean to it. And which just breaks my heart because no creature deserves, except for spiders, deserves to be hurt like that.
Wow.
But like this girl took this pigeon in and like it sat on her lap the whole time she was there and just cuddled with her. She took it home. She made sure that it survived the night because it wasn't doing so good. And now she's got like this pigeon that she just takes care of all the time and it stays with her. And pigeons, S tier. Super top quality bird. Underdog. Everybody should love pigeons way more.
Yeah.
That's not the reason this is called Pigeon Podcast. The reason this is called Pigeon Podcast is because I was so high one night that look, I was so high that I was sitting in my computer chair and I was really slouching. Like, it was really bad. And I was so high that it felt like large pigeons had landed on my chest. And I couldn't get up because the pigeons were weighing me down in my chair. I couldn't sit up straight. And so, the only way to get rid of the pigeons was to blow on them as I sat up. So, I was slouching in my computer chair and blowing on imaginary pigeons, going, trying to sit up, and then proceeded to say that the pigeons were in my lungs. And I had
crunchy lung pigeon.
I had pigeon lung, which I then came up with a slogan for, which is pigeon lung. It's not fun, but it's not fatal. Which makes no fucking sense. Then there's crunchy pigeon needle. Look, it's a whole thing. It was a whole thing. I went on a rant about pigeons and, like, being everywhere. And then, like, what was the thing? What did I say? It was something about, you know how when you feel like something's crawling on your skin, but then there's nothing there? And it's, like, real freaky? That's skin pigeons. Like, I came up with skin. I was way too high. And after that conversation, I proceeded to throw up. I had a hell of a weed barf. Threw the fuck up. Went and laid down. Had brain hiccups for, 40 minutes. Hated that experience. And decided I was never getting that high ever again. But that was how Pigeon Podcast was born. Because I kept saying I want to do a podcast called Pigeon Podcast. And now here we are. Rating birds on episode 1 of Pigeon Podcast. I have nothing better to do with my time. No, I'm actually super passionate. But, anywho, our next bird is the frogmouth.
Okay, I was wondering what that was because it was so small. It looked like, I don't know, like a squirrel sat in a tree. I was like, that doesn't look like a fucking bird. What has she got there?
This is called the frogmouth.
I hate it. I don't like it.
It's technically called the tawny frogmouth. It's a type of owl, I believe. Let me double check here.
I mean, the feathers definitely look kind of owl-like.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's within the owl family. The tawny frogmouths have wide frog-like mouths to capture insects, which... Good. Kill the insects.
Jesus Christ, how big are the insects they're eating?
You know what? I never thought about that. That's really concerning.
They're the same size as their head.
Can we not talk? There's definitely not insects scrolling around. Well, actually, they live in Australia, so it is possible that they had...
Makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
I was there, like, unless they're living in Australia, they don't need to have mouths that big.
Yeah, they live in
Australia. But no, it makes sense. Of course it is. Yeah,
they live in Australia. in Tasmania, so they definitely require mouths big enough to eat bugs that live in Satan's asshole. So they eat like fish, crustaceans, amphibians, and insects, right? Their lifespan is only 10 years.
Wait. They eat amphibians, right?
Yeah, frogs.
And yeah, so do you think maybe the reason they got called frogmouth was because someone's seen it eating a frog and it was like half in the mouth, half out, and they went, that guy's got a frog in his mouth.
Oh my
Let's
God.
call it the frog mouth.
It might be that simple. It genuinely might. I thought
they never saw the inside of the bird's mouth. They just saw a frog poking out, and they're like, that guy's a frog mouth.
That's probably true, dude. I mean, I thought it was because their mouth looks like a big frog mouth. But, like, they probably were eating a big fucking frog, and that thing, they said, wow, that's a frog mouth. And that was it. Like, that was... But, like, I guess these birds are super fucking weak. Like, their legs are super short. They have small, weak feet. They're slow and deliberate in their movements, and are apparently the weakest flyers in the order of, like, birds. Which is insane to me. Where's my fun facts? So, tawny frogmouths nest in trees. Their nests are made of, like, your normal stuff. But they're often, I was wrong. See, I didn't read all of the facts because I wanted to learn too while we were doing this. So they are often mistaken for owls. These unique birds are part of the nightjar, nighthawks, and whippoorwill family.
Oh, okay.
Interesting, because they really do look like they would be a part of the owl family.
Yeah.
Their unusual appearance serves as effective camouflage during the day while perching in trees. Like, if you look at the second one, if that fucker was sitting in a tree somewhere, you wouldn't notice him very well.
Yeah.
During the day, they usually sleep, which I think is why I was mistaking them for the owl family, because that's typically what owls do. When disturbed, they raise their head and stiffen their body, simulating a branch. And the best part about this is not that they think that they can just pretend to be a branch, but, like, the behavior is called stumping. So they're
really?
Yeah, they're stumping their enemies by quote unquote turning into a branch.
Oh,
this bird has puns.
Oh no.
And I love it so much. But something cool about these guys is that they emit a soft warning buzz similar to a bee when they're startled. Like,
do you reckon that's what that one's doing? Because if so was the cameraman, it was like, get the fuck out of here, go, be gone.
Yeah, it might be. And, like, it's funny because, like, it says similar to a bee, but all I can picture in my head is, like, the sound of a rattlesnake.
That's quite a different sound, I'm gonna be honest.
But, like, it's a buzz, right? It's like a...
It's a rattle, yeah.
It's a buzz, rattle, same difference.
It really isn't. It really is not.
Could you imagine if there was a fucking bird that just, like, if it saw you, it just went... And, like, you thought it was a rattlesnake hanging out in the tree?
Probably is. There's a bird... There's literally a bird... I don't think it's on this list anyway, but there's, like, a bird that mimics, and it can mimic, like, car alarms, anything, other birds and everything.
A mockingjay.
I don't think it was that one, though. I think there's another one, too.
It starts with an M. Magpie? Maybe?
No.
Well, we'll look it up.
Yeah.
But these birds also make this noise. I didn't get a clip of it because I'm dumb. But in the spirit of this podcast being about some stupidity, I'm going to recreate the noise.
I can't wait for this.
Simply based off of the wording that I have in front of me, which is OOM-OOM-OOM. Okay, so this is, and it's described as a low grunting call. So This is what I believe a tawny frogmouth sounds like.
Sounds like Scooby got his tail stuck under the door.
Shaggy, my tail stuck. I don't know why.
Raggy.
I don't know why I sounded like Sean Connery at the end of that, but like. Okay, so anywho.
Like, I'm curious how like the actual sound is. Like, you're gonna have to put the clip in like right after yours.
Let me look it up.
Something.
Let me look it up. Tawny frogmouth sound. Alright, apparently this is what they sound like.
Thing that's different about a verb.
Okay, you know, or you could hit me with an ad, even though...
I don't even hear that.
That's good. That's good. Okay. Let me get through this. Let me do this. This. Oh, my lights just flickered. Alright, this is what they sound like. Can you hear it?
No.
Really?
Yeah, I don't hear anything.
Hold on. Is it on the right? There we go. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Alright, everybody listen. Okay, I was very wrong. It kind of sounds like a really gone off car alarm. Like the battery's dying on the car alarm. So that's interesting. Yeah. But yeah, that's okay, so that's the tawny frogmouth. Because they're so weak, they are preyed on by cats, dogs, and foxes. The population is apparently pretty stable. So they're not like endangered or anything. I don't know that any of these birds are endangered. But so looking at this thing, it doesn't really have the cuteness factor. It kind of has like a Jim Henson's Muppet factor. Like it kind of almost looks like a puppet somebody created. I don't know. What do you think for a tier?
I mean, I don't like how it looks. It seems pretty weak all around. I'd say probably like theory.
All right, I agree. I think this is a very weak animal. I think this is a very oddball animal, and I'm not trying to say that I'm judging him that because he's not cute he shouldn't exist. So I'm gonna say D, because he should still exist. He's useful. He's cool. He's killing the icky ick in Australia, and he's like one of the things that isn't gonna try to kill you in Australia. So he gets like brownie points for that, you know, because everything wants to kill you in the Upside Down. All right. So now we are going to talk about ravens. Everybody's heard of ravens, or at least I'm pretty sure they have.
Yeah.
A lot of people confuse crows and ravens. They're not the same bird. Ravens tend to be smaller, I believe. Both birds are extremely smart. Crows,
I thought ravens were bigger.
Maybe they are. I'll have to look. But I should change this back so you can see. So ravens. Ravens are interesting because crows can also speak and sort of mimic humans to an extent, but ravens can do it in a way that is fucking unnerving. It's so accurate. Ravens' intelligence rates up with chimps and dolphins. Like,
Oh, really?
yes, ravens are fucking smart. In a logic test, a raven had to reach a hanging piece of food by pulling up a bit of the string and anchoring it with its talon, and repeating that until the food was reached. Lots of the ravens got the food on the first try. Some within 30 seconds. Like, it took them 30 seconds to figure out, oh, I have to move this rope up a bunch of times so that I can get the food.
Jesus.
Yeah, like, if they think another raven is trying to get their food, they'll hide it. They'll pretend to put the food in one place and then hide it in another.
I seen this one thing where, like, you know, traffic lights and stuff that go, like, slightly over the road and stuff.
Yeah.
So they'd, like, find these nuts in, like, really hard shells, and they'd sit above it and drop it and wait for a car to pass. And they'd do it over, like, crossings that people use. And they'd wait until the car had ran over it so it'd smash, so they could go and pick up the nuts when people were crossing.
Yes, I've heard of that. They were, like, smart enough to know, oh, the people are crossing, it's not dangerous, we can go pick up the nut that we had a car crack for us.
Yeah.
And I also heard that ravens, so, like, if a raven thinks that its nest is being threatened by a human, they will push rocks onto people from above to keep them from climbing to their nests.
Jesus.
Yeah. Like, they also will play dead. So, like, if they have food and they think other ravens are going to come try and get it, they'll play dead next to it to make the other ravens think that when they ate it, it killed them. And then that way they have their food and the other ravens won't steal their food.
That's cool.
And ravens have also been known for stealing packaged meats out of people's carts. At, like, Costco's.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's freaking amazing.
Yeah, they're fucking cool. Not only are they super smart, and, like, the fact that they can genuinely mimic human speech, which is insane. Like, the way parrots do it is insane. Parrots aren't on this list. Parrots are very fascinating, very cool birds. Ravens are, the way they mimic is so different because, again, the way they mimic is so unnervingly accurate and, like, so haunting in a way, the way that they sound. Now I haven't watched this video, but I have this video, that is apparently a raven talking to herself in a camera, like a hidden camera. So, let's see. This bird is apparently named Fable.
Hi.
Can you hear that,
Hi.
Jam?
Oh my god,
Hi.
that's crazy.
Hi.
It's so unnerving. Like, that
Hi.
doesn't sound like a parrot. That doesn't sound like a bird saying it. It
Hi.
sounds like a person. Like, ravens talk way better than parrots.
Oh.
I'm just gonna see if I can skip through and get a little more of her. Oh, she's roaring.
How? Oh. Ow. Wow.
I don't know, man. Ravens are insanely cool to me. And the other thing about ravens too is their look. Like, ravens are typically used in like scary movies, stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of lore around ravens. Obviously, Edgar Allan Poe made ravens quite famous with, you know, his work. Quoth the raven nevermore. But yeah, they appear in a lot of world mythologies, which is really interesting to me. Like, everything from, like, Tibet to Greece. ravens have always been messengers for gods. So, like, the Celtic goddess of warfare often took the form of a raven during battles. Odin had two ravens named Hugin and Munin. I'm gonna butcher those, and I apologize. But they meant thought and memory. The names translated to thought and memory. And they flew around the world every day and reported back to Odin every night about what they saw. Chinese myths said that ravens caused bad weather in forests to warn people that the gods were going to pass by. And many Native American people consider the raven a sly trickster who was involved in the creation of the world. So ravens are just scattered across world mythology, and that is such a fascinating thing. I don't think there are a ton of birds that get that kind of crown. But they're also super playful. They do weird things with ants, though, which is going to cancel this bird from being an S tier bird very quickly. So ravens.
Oh, I hate that. Oh no.
What?
I was reading it and I hate it.
Oh, yeah. I'm on the wrong. Yeah. So ravens lie in anthills and they roll around so the ants swarm on them, which is fucking weird. Or they chew the ants up and they rub their guts on their feathers. And the scientific name is anting, which is like, that is not very scientific. You literally said, I don't know what to fucking call this weird ass behavior. Anting. They're rolling around in ants. And I guess some other birds do it too. Nobody fully understands exactly why. But I guess that's like ant secretions, which is something I never thought I'd say out loud, are soothing to a molting bird's skin, I guess. So it's like an addiction thing. I don't know. It's really weird. So for me, like, that one kind of crosses off S tier. I think that ravens fall in like an A tier.
Yeah.
Because I think they're smart, they're cool, they're a bit weird, but the fact that they have like such a heavy influence in world mythologies or cultural histories is just fascinating to me. Okay, so the next bird that we have, I think, is Jam's favorite bird. You're gonna have to let me know if I'm correct. It was just an intuition thing, and I think this bird is very interesting and very cool. So the next bird is a tiny little dude named the Oriental Dwarf Kingfisher.
No, it's kind of the same colors, but not the bird.
Damn! Oh, I thought I had it.
So have a look at the mandarin duck.
Okay. Mandarin duck. Okay, this is why I thought it might be this, because the colors are quite similar. Alright, next time we rate birds, I'll add the mandarin duck to the list. So, the Oriental Kingfisher is a pocket-sized bird. And this is why
That's
I thought...
adorable.
Yeah, this is why I thought you might like... Yeah! This is why I thought you might like it, because it's like... And it's really rare, too. Unfortunately, it's really rare because of, you know, threats and extinction and all that stuff. So, this is a bird that hunts itty-bitty little frogs and spiders and worms and all that good shit. There's nothing particularly, like, overwhelmingly special about them, other than the fact that, again, they're really rare. They're slowly kind of dying out, and it's really sad. And they're just beautiful. They're just these very beautiful, colorful birds that, like, you want to keep seeing them. The first, like, known sighting of these birds was back in, like, the 1700s. So these birds have been around for years.
Yeah.
And the family is, like, it's a largely tropical species. Some have adapted to other temperate regions, but they're mostly found in, like, India and in more Asian countries. And they are, how many are left in the world? I read something where there's, like, only so many left. Where is it? So, how many dwarf kingfisher birds are left? So, the population for the dwarf kingfisher in, its estimated population is somewhere between 2,500 and 10,000 in, like, the birds that live in the southern areas. And then the ones in the north are a little bit higher, between 10 and 20,000, which you would think sounds like a lot, but in the animal kingdom, that is such a tiny little amount. Like, that is nothing compared to, you know, like, if I were to type in how many pigeons are in the world, there are 400 million pigeons in our world. 400 million. And the most that you will ever get on a number these days for the dwarf kingfisher is 20,000.
Jesus.
It's a huge difference in numbers. But this is a bird that, of course, because of its coloring and its look and everything, was, people wanted to keep them. People wanted to have them. And on top of the, like, between humans and just the threat of other, you know, species needing to eat and eating this bird, it just has declined and declined and declined. And so I think that because it is tiny, because it is cute, because it is pretty, and because it is endangered, S tier.
Yes.
100%. Now, this next bird,
I think I know this photo, and I really think I hate it already.
Is a bird that is quite literally a living dinosaur. Okay. This thing is called the shoebill stork.
I hate it. Okay.
Yep, it's gonna get worse. I'm gonna show you a couple of different pictures because I need to get across how awful this thing is.
It's like 80% legs, 10% head, 10% body. What the fuck?
So this is the shoebill stork.
I hate it so much.
You want to know how tall that fucker is?
Not really, but I'm sure you're gonna say.
You want to take a guess?
No.
Take a guess. Take a guess.
I don't know. No idea.
All
Not
right.
a clue.
So this bird, gets to be about our height, Jam.
Fuck off. What?
Yeah, this bird, I think one of the tallest ones ever was 5 feet. Typically, they're about 4.5 feet tall.
Jesus.
Yep. They can weigh up to 15 pounds. They live up to 35 years. Now, granted, these guys, if I remember, are quite rare and are definitely considered, like, a vulnerable species on the, like, extinction list and everything. Like, these guys are definitely struggling.
I'm sorry, what the hell is hunting down that thing? It's got, like, a hammer for a face. It's got, like, it could kill someone with that fucking thing. Look at it.
It could. It's, wait till you hear what it sounds like.
I don't think I want to.
They mainly eat frogs, snakes, snails, rodents, and baby crocodiles. Mainly fish, though. They're mainly
baby crocodiles. That fucker's out there eating crocodiles.
Baby
guys.
crocodiles,
What?
but the crocodiles hunt them back. Their predators are, unfortunately and unsurprisingly, humans and crocodiles. They are mostly in swamps and marshlands in East Africa, which, that's fine, right? That's just your basic average information. Their population is definitely difficult to evaluate, but you thought that the kingfisher had issues. The estimation of amount of these guys left in the world is between 5,000 and 8,000 total. That's it. 5 to 8,000 total of these guys. And you wouldn't think that, like, looking at it, you'd be like, it's probably for the best, right? But these guys are basically living dinosaurs. Like, I'm terrified of this. If I ever came in contact with this bird, I would probably die of a fucking heart attack. They have a razor sharp beak with a hook at the tip. They're almost cartoon-like in a way where, like, it almost sometimes doesn't look real. Like, genuinely, sometimes it doesn't look real. And that blows my mind. But, like, I guess they can kind of be cute. Like, look at this.
Absolutely not.
Like, it's got pretty big blue eyes, and it's, like, all tucked up. But, like, I think that this is genuinely one of the scariest birds I've ever seen.
Yeah.
They're really cool, but just scary. They're one of the slowest birds on the planet, though, when it comes to flying. Because they're so large, and it takes their wings such a time to, like, actually, get up to speed. Their beaks can reach up to 24 centimeters in length. That's almost 10 inches in length. That's more than 10 inches. It's a lot. It's like 12. It's almost a foot. But they have super sharp beaks. They benefit from the presence of hippos. Like, the hippos disturb the fish and bulldoze paths through the swamps, and it, like, helps them fish and stuff. This is the part that I don't like. So, a shoebell stork is an ambush predator. Hate the sound of that. So it stands still for super long periods of time, like motionless, like a statue, before launching a vicious attack to kill any prey that comes within striking distance. Terrifying.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
Terrifying. They're usually silent, but they are known to clatter their bills loudly during courtship and greeting, which can sound like a machine gun. Okay?
No thanks.
Which is what I'm gonna now play. Okay? I'm gonna let you all hear how fucking awful this is. Ready?
Oh my god.
That's the bird. That's not a gun. That's somebody clapping their hands. That's not like two pieces of wood smacking together. That's the fucking bird. Now,
I hate it.
yeah, it's awful, and it's scary. These birds are fucked up from the beginning. They bully the chicks, like the babies when they're born. They bully each other. They fight, and the strongest one will kill the other siblings. And it's known as, which this is fucked up, it's known as Sibylcide.
I hate that. Oh my god.
And they do this when they're only a few weeks old. Like, whatever this, and then the parent will just, like, not even turn, like, they don't even give a shit.
So, like, the kids would just be bunking each other on the head with these fucking hammers of a beak.
Yes.
And the parent's just like, fuck it, it's fine.
The female always lays 2 eggs, but only one ever survives. The second
Jeez.
egg is seen like a backup in case anything is wrong with the first one. Usually the first to hatch survives. But like they appear in all kinds of historic paintings. These birds have been around for so long. They're incredibly rare. Only a few like zoos and stuff have them. But I wanted to see if my fun fact thing said... Oh, the other thing is they poop on themselves.
What the fuck?
Yeah, they poop on themselves. They will defecate on their legs to lower their body temperature.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. They... Yeah, so some zoos, like, have them and stuff. They're trying to reintroduce them, but I wanted to see if there was something that said how old they are, like, how long they've been around. Oh, also, they can run up to 30 miles an hour. If that didn't, like, seal the deal on terror. It's, like, fast as a fucking ostrich. And I don't like ostriches. Like, ostriches scare the shit out of me, right? But, like, this would scare me more if it was running at me. You know? How long has the shoebill stork been around? The shoebill stork... So the first known existence of the shoebill stork was in 1850, it looks like. Which doesn't seem that long ago. It seems like this is a bird that has existed far before that. Maybe we just haven't found anything about it yet. But I would like to give this bird a terror rating of abso-fucking-lutely not, hell no, F.
Wait, let's see the chart again.
Oh, right. Let me fix it so you can... Okay, here's your chart.
Okay, I would say to put it in F, but then I also think it gets a sort of pity boost of being kind of ugly and slow. I'd say E, just pity points.
Just pity points, especially because it's rare and
yeah.
going extinct, which is sad. Like,
yeah.
I don't want to see it die off, because it is a really cool creature. It's like something you'd see out of a horror movie, but I can't rate it any higher than an E, just because, like,
yeah, me neither.
I would fucking shit myself if I came across that thing in the real world. Like, I already struggle with some birds and being afraid of them. As the bigger they are, the bigger I am afraid of them. Speaking of big birds, so the next bird is of the chicken variety. And again, since my whole persona online is a chicken, at least it's a girl in a chicken onesie, right? But, like, everybody calls me the chicken, calls me Chimkin, calls me Grandma Hen, all that shit. So, I didn't want to just do, like, chickens, because I'm obviously going to rate chickens as an S-tier bird. But I'm biased. But I wanted to include a type of chicken that, one, I don't think a lot of people know about or truly believe is real. And two, a type of chicken that I think would terrify even me, even though I love chickens and I would love to, like, hang out and cuddle with chickens. I think this one might actually scare me. So this is called the Jersey Giant Chicken.
Jesus Christ.
So that's a normal chicken on the right-hand side. That's the Jersey Giant on the left-hand side. And that's a goat in the background on the left. Okay? These things are fucking massive. Massive. And it blows my mind. So, the Jersey Giant chicken is the largest chicken breed, at least in the United States. I didn't really look further than that. It takes 8 to 9 months for this thing to reach its full size. Let's see. Where is the actual, height? So, the Jersey Giant, the females weigh around 11 pounds, and the males weigh between 13 and 15 pounds. This bird could eat fudgy.
No, no, stop, no.
Oh
no.
They get to be about 20 inches tall, which 20 inches to feet. I didn't think to look this up. 2 feet. So they get to be about almost 2 feet tall. A 2 foot tall chicken.
Jesus.
Is insane to me. A 2 foot tall chicken. And that's it. That's really, they come in all kinds of different colors. Browns, blacks, whites. This kind of salt and pepper looking one. So apparently, despite their size, these are actually really friendly and docile chickens. They're supposedly really calm. They don't really get their feathers ruffled by anything. They're real chill. They're real gentle. They're supposedly a good choice, when you're choosing a bird, or when you want to get chickens for pets or whatever, to lay eggs for you. This is a top choice for one that will share space with pets and children and be really super nice to everybody. Which is insane. A 2 foot tall chicken, and it's a nice thing. It's like fucking Big Bird. But I don't how did we get to this point where our chickens are 2 feet tall? When did we decide we needed 2 foot tall chickens? Just why? When? Why? Who? Who decided this was a good idea? This is insane to me. Their eggs are usually brown. Obviously, their eggs are larger than the average chicken egg. They're good mothers. They're good. They're good, nice, sweet birds. They just look like fucking Frankenstein. So, I don't know how you feel about it.
I mean, I'm fine with, chickens in general, and the fact that it's, a calm sort of bird anyway. I mean, it's just that it's a taller chicken, so I'd say it's wherever you want to raise it. I mean,
could you just imagine, though, if this, walked out of the coop and was like, bark, bark,
but it's friendly, though. It's not
yeah, but if you didn't know it was friendly and you were like, oh, chickens, and that thing stepped out, you'd be like, holy shit, that's a big chicken.
I mean, you'd be, scared at first, but, you'd get used to it.
Yeah, that's true. For people who would see this bird in the first time and be probably terrified before knowing anything about it, I'm going to put this bird in an A tier. I don't think it's quite S tier chicken material. I think that's saved for, the Carlos chickens of the world.
Yep.
Which, I don't know what kind of chicken he is. I just know that, that's a whole other thing, and we'll do a whole chicken thing, but... Alright, so the next one on the list is kind of an out there one. I'd never heard of this bird. I don't know if I'm gonna say the first name right. It's another, flat-mouth bird. It's another bill bird. That sounds bizarre. Anywho, it's called the roseate spoonbill. This is what it looks like. It's pink like a flamingo. It eats aquatic invertebrates like crabs and stuff. It nests in trees. It's not particularly being threatened. But it kind of looks like it came out of like a Dr. Seuss book. It's got bright red eyes, which is terrifying. But the shape of its beak, it uses it to, like, swallow fresh fish and everything. It, like, helps scoop up their food. They fly with their necks outstretched. There are 1 in 6 species of spoonbills in this world, and it's the only one found in America. The other ones are in other places. And you know how when humans get old, they majority of them tend to start balding, like we start losing our hair. So it turns out that these birds also start losing their feathers from the top of their head as they get older.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, this is a bird that balds, which is fucking bizarre. The chicks don't have the bill that you see in the picture immediately. Their bill comes out looking like a beak, like a hooked beak at first, and then when they're 9 days old, it starts to flatten, which is
that's so strange.
Weird. Yeah, it's fucking weird. They get they're like flamingos, they get their coloration from the food that they eat. And the oldest one that was ever recorded was 15 years, 10 months. So as far as we know, these guys don't really live past 15, 16 years. There's not, like, anything, again, crazy, super fascinating. I just think this is an interesting looking bird.
I think it's a really cool looking bird.
Yeah.
I mean, looking by the height of it, like, I'd say it's kind of a scary kind of height. I don't know.
But like, see if it's got a height thing in here.
It also looks like it's got a naked tummy, and I don't like it.
It does kind of look like it's naked.
It kind of looks like a really big chicken kind of stomach where you've got chicken legs and a naked tummy. I don't like it.
Oh, shit. Oh, no. Yeah, no, I see that. I could get behind that. It kind of looks like a bird that's fronting on you. It's like, hey, what you doing? You want a piece of this? You gonna come fuck with me? It's not a threatening bird. It doesn't, like, there's no, like, real history of them attacking humans or anything. It's not a particularly scary bird when you look into it, but just looking at it now, it's like, I wouldn't fuck with that. I would see that and go, maybe I should avoid that thing.
Like, if I saw that thing, I'll be like, okay, I'll go the other way. I'm not looking that way home. I'll go the other way.
Yeah, like, I don't want this balding bird to, like, come at me. Like,
yeah.
I mean, and you can see, if I make this a little bigger, you can see he is balding. He has no feathers on his head, and, like, part of his neck is balding. So,
and all of his tummy, he's just completely naked.
He's
having a bad day.
He's old, and, like, but you wouldn't know that if you didn't know that. You'd be like, oh my god, this bird is, like, diseased or something. It's got no feathers on its head. I don't know. This is like one of those, it just kind of exists birds. What good is it doing? You know? I don't know. I'm thinking, like, is it better or worse than the frogmouth?
I'd say it's better. Like, it looks nice. It looks like a nice bird. It's just kind of like,
it's definitely less oddballish than the frogmouth mouth.
Yeah, I'd say C is kind of wet.
Okay, I would agree with that, just because, like, it's a pretty pink color. It's kind of flamingo-ish. Its bill is just flat. You know, it's not a bad bird. It's just kind of middle of the road. Nothing special.
Yeah. It's not better than the kiwi. It's not worse than the frogmouth, you know?
It's hard to be worse than the frogmouth.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't hard for that.
The shoe bill
other
store
one. Yeah, that's the one. It wasn't hard for that one to be worse. God
yeah,
damn.
well, all right. So next on the list, sticking with the pink bird theme, are actually flamingos. Because I think flamingos are interesting. Lots of people know what flamingos are. Lots of people have seen flamingos in zoos. Lots of zoos have flamingos. Flamingos make their nests out of mud. So flamingos have been in zoos for around 130 years, which is insane to me. Again, like the roseate spoonbill, flamingos get their pink color from their food. So flamingos really are what they eat. Like the plants and things that they eat all the time produce natural red, yellow, and orange pigments, which turns them into the color that they are. It turns their feathers pink, but underneath, I'm pretty sure flamingos are like all black, I think. I'll have to double check on that. But flamingos eat upside down. Take that as you will. So basically, flamingos are filter feeders, and they turn their heads upside down to eat, which is hard to picture.
Yeah, I'm struggling to picture that one.
So it like puts its head upside down in the water, and then it's with its bill pointed at its feet. Like it starts going face down, and then it sweeps its head to the side, and it uses the tongue to pump the water in and out of its bill. And it's got like comb-like things along the edge of its bill that creates a filter for the water to go out, and then it traps the food inside.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
It kind of seems like it's just a lot of wasted effort for this bird to try and survive.
It just
like it has
like
to eat upside down. It's like just be normal. Just just eat the right way. God,
it's such a.
No, why they have to be so awkward?
A group of flamingos is called a flamboyance.
I like that.
Yeah, I do too. And many people think that flamingos' knees bend backwards. Like, if you were looking at the picture right now, you would be like, oh, that knee is going the wrong direction. So that is not the flamingo's knee that you're looking at where it's bent in the photo. That is its ankle joint.
Huh?
So, this right here, this is not the flamingo's knee.
I don't see what you're on about. What?
Can you not?
Oh, I saw it briefly. It's gone again. It moved too
gone
fast.
again.
Your mouse. I was assuming you were trying to point to it.
Yeah, it's right here. This
I
right
don't
here.
see.
Here, hold on. I can help. I just need. I need like a drawing tool. Okay, right here. So right here.
Yeah.
That's not its knee.
How is it not?
That is the flamingo's ankle.
How?
Because it just is. That's the flamingo's ankle joint, and their knees are higher up on the legs, hidden by the body and feathers.
I hate it. This bird was going to be like B tier. It's just dropped dramatically due to the effort of eating and the fact it's got fucky angles.
Yeah, like think of flamingos. They're like standing on their tiptoes. When the leg bends, it's the ankle that you're seeing bending, And, like, that's them standing on their
hate it.
tiptoes. Yeah, it's not
Why
their
have they got
knees.
such long ankles? Fucking disgusting. Fix your ankles. Oh my god.
Oh, man. Flamingos can fly. And they sleep standing on one leg. Research suggests that flamingos use more muscle power when standing on two legs, so standing on one leg is less tiring for them, and that's why a lot of them will fall asleep standing on one leg. I also learned through all of this that birds lose body heat through their limbs. So, like, that's part of it too, is like if they're using less muscle, they're gonna be less heated. Yeah, flamingos are cool, but there's some things about them that the knee thing I think is the biggest part for people. Like the fact that that's not its knee, and its knee is not bending backwards, like the fact that, because like here's its foot. And this whole thing is still technically foot because that's the ankle. And then the knee is like somewhere up in the body.
I hate it so much.
So what do you think this is dropped down to?
Yeah.
Oh man. Wow, the flamingos.
It's not worthy seeing above. The fact it goes through
the
so much
flamingo?
effort.
The flamenco? Isn't that a type of dance? I think that's a type of dance, the flamenco. Yeah, the flamingo is weird, but I didn't think it was, like, that bad.
I mean, like, the fact that it goes through so much effort just to eat, like, it has to be make its head upside down to try and filter the food.
Yeah.
Like, that's just, like, wasted energy, and I don't get why they've chose to do this. They brought this on themselves. So just that in itself made it less than, like, A&S, but then the whole ankle foot thing just fucking threw me for a loop, and I was like, no, you down to D. No, not happening. Yeah. That's my opinion. My opinion on it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I
don't hate them by any means, but it's just, no, get out of here with that shit. It's just not needed.
So the next bird, I think, is a bird that a lot of people hate. Like, a lot of people fucking hate these guys.
I love this bird. It's so cute.
Seagull. Okay, well, first of all, did you see the video?
Which video?
Of the seagull eating a rat.
No.
Okay. The seagull swallowed a giant dead rat whole. Okay, so let that sink in first of all.
Yeah. Okay.
Now I will say that seagulls are clever. I wouldn't say that they're smart. I would say that they're clever. Like, they remembered that when it rains, earthworms will come up to the surface because they don't like it. And so seagulls will stamp their feet in a group to imitate rainfall to trick the earthworms to come to the surface so they can eat them.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
You sure he doesn't sound so sure about that one? You're positive that's cool?
They'll eat mollusks and they'll knock them on rocks to break them open so they can eat it. They're apparently very attentive and caring parents. The male and female pair for life, and they take turns incubating the egg and feeding and protecting the chicks. So all sounds good so far.
So far. Why'd you make me feel like something bad's coming up about them? Oh no.
They have different body movements and vocalizations that,
Yeah.
They can drink both fresh and salt water. Most animals are unable to do this, but seagulls have a special pair of glands right above their eyes, which is specifically designed to flush the salt from their systems through the openings in the bill. In Native American symbolism, the seagull represents a carefree attitude, versatility, and freedom. I don't know how true that is. I'd have to do more research on that, because I don't know if that's a whitewashed version of what people think is a representation of seagulls in Native American symbolism, or if that's actually Native American symbolism. So we'll take that one with a grain of salt. Many seagulls have learned to conserve energy by hovering over bridges in order to absorb rising heat from paved roadways.
Wait, they do what now?
They will hover over like bridges and stuff to absorb the heat that's rising off the paved roadways, and it helps them conserve energy. This one's interesting. Seagulls are fondly remembered in Utah for helping Mormon settlers deal with a plague of crickets. The seagull is now the state bird of Utah, and a monument in Salt Lake City commemorates the event, known as the Miracle of the Gulls. Okay. That's interesting, I suppose.
What?
Did you not hear what I said?
Oh, I thought you read something else. I was like, huh?
No, that's just weird. That's weird. That's just weird.
Oh. Okay.
They live 10 to 15 years. But here's the thing. This all sounds good. Until you exist with seagulls, and then you understand that while sure they're clever, sure they're probably great parents, they are also very schemy. They don't give a fuck about people. Like, they just do whatever the fuck. They're a give no fucks, do what I want bird. They don't give a shit about personal space. Like, you've all seen them. They'll get in gangs and parking lots and get all pushy with people and steal your food out of your hands and...
I have a funny story about that.
Okay. And they'll just do all kinds of crazy shit. Like, what did they do to you?
So, me, Dad, and Ellis, I think, went... I can't remember if Lewis was there too, but we went to go get some, like, fish and chips, or I can't remember if it was just chips. But obviously, seagulls being schemy, a lot of them were flying over us, wanting some, chips and stuff. So, me being young and an idiot decided to throw a chip in the air above my dad.
Of course you did. Oh,
and
no.
they all swooped down to try and get it, almost crashing into Dad.
Oh no! No! You tried to kill him!
And that was worthy of me being called a fucking idiot.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh my god! I've been too afraid of seagulls to do anything like that. I mean, I've watched seagulls walk into stores and steal bags of chips off of the shelf and walk back out and be like, what you can do about it? I have watched seagulls swoop down on people to scare them off to take their food. Because of the modernization of the world, I feel like because seagulls live in such close proximity to other humans, or to live in such close proximity to humans. I don't know why I said to other humans, because as far as I know, seagulls aren't humans. And if they...
You sure about that?
Oh god. Are they humans in bird suits?
Oh fuck.
I don't like that idea at all. But I've seen what they can do. They're fucking terrifying. Like, they just don't care. And I'm telling you, when, like, because they hang out in parking lots here. And sometimes you'll pull into a parking lot and there'll be 20 or 30 of those fuckers milling around, eating scraps off the fucking ground of shit people dropped. And when they were flying, I could hear them, like, saying my name. Like, I'm telling you, I'm not kidding. Like, I'll give you the equivalent of with Sayuri, but, like, you could hear them being like, Sayuri! Sayuri! Like, They fucking were
Sounds
calling my
like
goddamn name. And, like, they're, and then, like, whenever you're in Chicago, they love to just, like, swoop down at you for no reason. Just right in, right above your head, fly right over you, make you think they're coming for you, but they ain't coming for you. They're just fucking with you. These are the mind fuck birds of the world. Where these are the birds that like to fuck with people. And they don't give a shit. And the fact that this bird in this other video was just standing on a street in what I could only assume was New York. And just stood there with people walking around, and this giant rat. It was just carrying this giant rat, and it swallowed it whole. The whole thing, the whole rat. The rat was the size of its body, Jam. And it just swallowed it whole, and I'll never be the same ever again.
Oh no.
This video was haunting. I have been scarred for life by this fucking seagull. So, for me, seagulls are like, sure, they're clever. Sure, they're, whatever. But, like, seagulls?
No. They're worthy of more than that, surely.
Why are they worthy of being above an F tier?
Because they're such great parents, they're social, they're adorable looking too. I mean, sure, they're loud, and they can be
that's
aggressive for
adorable?
food.
That is the face
It
of
is,
a murderer.
look at it. Oh, it didn't murder the rat,
and
it
they're
just found
loud.
it.
They're super loud. I forgot about that part too. Like if you compare, because seagulls and pigeons are around people a lot. Those are the two that are around. We'll talk about this in a second. Those are the two that are around people a lot, and I feel like pigeons get so much shit from people when pigeons are the good bird, and seagulls, who also sort of get shit from people, are the bad bird. But I feel like pigeons get more hate, and it's bullshit. Pigeons S tier, seagulls F tier.
Oh no.
Convince me otherwise.
I mean, it's entirely your choice. I think they're worthy of, like, B or C tier.
Really?
I just love them. Yeah,
They're
I just
C-tier?
love them. I've had no bad experiences with seagulls. I mean, they're just really loud, and yeah, that's about it. They like stealing food, but so does every animal that gets the chance.
I mean, yeah, but are other animals as obnoxious about it?
I mean, animals gotta eat, you know?
I mean, alright, look, I can compromise a little bit. I will say, it's not as awful as, well, it's I don't know, would the shoebill stork kill me, or would I think a seagull would kill me before this other dinosaur would.
If that shoebill was threatened, it would definitely bonk you on the head with that fucking sledgehammer of a face. It would for sure. It's nowhere near as bad as that shoebill.
You say B
I think the shoebill should be moved down, actually.
No, the shoebill's kind of cool, and it's dying
no, it's
out.
fucking ugly. I hate it.
It's terrifying.
It would definitely kill things.
I mean, the highest I think I could go, if we're gonna compromise, you say B or C tier, I say F tier. The middle ground would be D.
Okay.
It's a D tier bird on a good day.
I can settle for that. Okay.
Alright, so now the last two birds are honorable mention birds. We're not gonna, like, rate them the way we were the other ones, to an extent, because we both have personal experiences that will sway us to put these birds in an F tier. So...
I mean, okay, yeah, go on.
So, first of all... This adorable motherfucker is apparently a holy terror and a menace to society. Apparently, this sweet, adorable little duckling, this cute, innocent baby bird, it's not even a baby, but, like, this cute bird is apparently the stuff of nightmares.
Do not be fooled by its cuteness is all I will say.
Alright, Jim. So...
It's a demon in disguise.
please enlighten us as to why the duck, the household pet duck, not even like the wild bird ducks, the household pet ducks are an F tier bird.
I mean, I wouldn't say they're F tier. I just had 2 ducks, and one of them happened to be a complete arsehole.
All right.
So you go on.
Would you, the asshole duck, you wouldn't put him as an F tier?
I don't know, probably like F or E, sure.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and tell us what the demon duck did to you.
Okay, so I was very young when we had 2 pet ducks, Hamish and Emily, male and female. The way we told them apart was the male had the dark orange beak, female had the light peach beak. Probably not how you're supposed to tell their gender apart, but it's how we did. And Hamish was a complete arsehole. He was always protective of Emily. And it was, for some reason, my job as a little kid to go out and change their water and give them, like, fresh food and everything. So I went to do it, and whenever somebody went outside, he would stroll up and stare you down, and it was horrifying. Like, you'd hear him quacking, and you'd be like, shit, gotta be quick, not before he blocks the exit. And I remember I was so young, and I had these pants on, and he'd come strolling up, and I was like, oh fuck, he's blocking my way to the door. What am I gonna do? And you can't run. If you run, he charges at you. So I stood my ground, and then he starts edging closer, and I was like, oh fuck, what do I do? So he ends up latching onto my ankle on the bottom of my pants, and he starts lunging his head back and forth, pecking me. And you can't kick him. You can't walk away if you try and move. He does it more when it fucking hurts. My ankles would be so bruised from that fucking gremlin of a dog. I remember it got so bad one time that, like, it was so painful and bruised. Like, he already did it, like, the day before, and it was still bruised from that. And I just stood there crying because I couldn't kick him off, and my dad was too busy laughing to help. So that was Hamish, the fucking asshole of a dog.
I just picture tiny you in, like, overalls for some reason. Don't ask. And, like, going out into the back garden, being like, I'm gonna feed the duckies. And just, I picture you at a size where, like, Hamish was actually a threatening size to you.
I mean, he was, like, half my size.
Oh, that makes it so much better.
Like, he probably, like, went up to, like, just around my knee, maybe a little bit higher, I guess. I don't know.
Oh my god, I can just picture you standing there with, like, the duck between you and the fucking, like, door,
It
and
really
just being
was.
like, I can't move. If I move,
Like,
he'll attack.
It got so bad to the point where he would just abandon Emily at the bottom of the garden just to charge to the door and stop me from getting back inside. He fucking, it was like a bully seeking out someone in the playground. It was scary as shit.
I can't laugh, though, because, like, the experience I've
was
had to,
traumatic.
like, yeah, I can't, like, make too much fun, because that does, as a child, sound very fucking traumatic, but, like, alright, so, pretend this is Hamish. Where's he going?
Oh, for making me relive all that F. Oh god, the trauma. Oh no.
Ducks. The F-tier duck. I mean, the F-tier bird. God damn it. Ducks.
Like, Emily would have been like A or S tier. She was like adorable. So was Hamish, but like, he was such an asshole. He was in a constant bad mood for no reason.
He just didn't like you for some reason.
I don't know why. I never did anything to him.
Maybe he sensed that you were a fox and you just didn't know it yet. He saw you as a threat.
Oh no.
Alright. So, oh, Jesus Christ. So
I was crying over that. Like, just trying to say it and laugh and I cried. Oh my god.
So, that's an intro into the tragic tales of Jam.
Yeah.
And at some point, more of those will crop up because they're just
Maybe.
inevitable.
Maybe.
Like, I just feel like the things we talk about and the things we do or the stories that we tell, that's going to... There's going to be other stuff that comes up. But I suppose now you can laugh at me as I tell you the story of this motherfucker.
I hate it.
This is what is known as a great egret. I don't know how tall they get. I didn't really look up any facts about them because this is...
He looks like he's almost the size of a door frame. That's big enough.
This is an F tier bird. I fucking hate these things. Back in 2003, I was, I don't know, 12? I don't know. No. Yes. Maybe. I don't know. 12 or 13. Something like that. And as a family vacation, one of the bigger family vacations we ever took growing up, my parents really wanted to give us the opportunity to go to Disney World. Awesome. Loved it. Disney World, fantastic. Super fun. Don't try to go to all 4 parks plus Universal Studios in 7 days. You will die. But we had a blast. We had so much fun. Well, I would say we had a blast, but my brother, who was, I believe, like 6 at the time, my youngest brother, we kind of tortured him on a lot of vacations on accident. He was young. We tried to do kid-friendly things. The kid-friendly things didn't always turn out to be kid-friendly. We might have messed him up a little bit as a kid, but whatever, it's fine. We'll talk about that in a second. But, so, Disney World is very open as a theme park. Lots of open space, lots of trees, lots of whatever. So there are birds that just hang out, like natural Florida wildlife. Which Florida, like, tries to be Australia's drunk cousin. Like, Florida likes to have things that could kill you, just on a smaller scale than Australia. Also, it's humid as fuck in Florida. And yeah. So, these little shits, I say little, but they were at least as tall as me at the time. I want to say this thing was like 4 foot. Like 3 through... Yeah, this thing had to be like 4 foot tall. And so, Disney World, of course, has food. Like, they have all these little, like, shops and restaurants and things that you can go and get food, and then you can, like, go outside and you can sit and eat. And I hadn't eaten that day, and I was really hungry. And we went and I got, of course, the same thing I'm still eating at almost 34 years old. Chicken tenders and french fries. Or chicken tenders and chips. And we went and sat outside. And this thing, this creature, this large, ominous bird rolls up on me. Just confident as all fuck. Just zoned in, looked right at me, and said, "I want what you have." And my dad was sitting next to me at the time. And this thing starts walking towards me. Just no hesitation, no fear whatsoever. Walks right up to me, lowers its head towards my face, where my food was kind of being held, like, in my hands, and just rips the food out of my hand. And just skitters away. I was fucking terrified. This thing, 1, was massive. 2, didn't give a shit. 3, stole the food that I was extremely hungry about and was, like, excited to have and was gonna fuel me for the day. And my dad sat there and did fuck all. He just let it happen. He didn't go, "Shoo, bird." He didn't, like, karate chop it in the fucking neck. He didn't do shit. He just watched oh, that's a cool bird. Oh, that's quite interesting. Oh, it's coming over. Oh, and then it snatched my food, and he just sat there and was like, oh, wow, that was really cool. And I was like, no, this is not really cool. He took my food. It's all on the floor now, what he didn't snatch out of my hands. And, like, but that started my fear of birds. So, of course, like, they went and got me new food and whatever, but the entire rest of that trip, anytime I saw a bird or a board swooped down, anytime a bird swooped down, like, even if it wasn't super near me, I just would lose my shit. I would lose it. I would start ducking and weaving and making, like, you know, the noises I make when I was like, like, and my family was just fucking dying laughing. They were like, you are ridiculous. I was like, did you not see what I was assaulted by a bird? Okay? Assaulted by a giant bird. And you fuck-alls did nothing. You just sat there. You let it happen. But that's what started my fear of bird. And like I said, I've gotten better about it. But, like, could you imagine as, like, a 10 to 12-year-old sitting with your little chickie tendies, chilling in the sun at fucking Disney World, the magical happy place, and this fucking creature stalks up and just says, I'll take that. Yeah, it's gonna fuck ya up. Of course. So that's why the great egret can get royally fucked and sit down here with nasty little Hamish in F tier.
Yeah.
This amuses me, just because it's a duck, but also ducks can be assholes. Like, chickens can be assholes.
He was so evil.
Yeah.
He was the worst.
Like, chickens can be assholes too. Like, my mom had a bad experience with chickens when she was younger. Someone in her life had chickens, and these chickens, like Hamish bullied you, this one rooster would bully my mom and chase her around as a young kid. And it was fucking terrifying. And one day he was chasing her and attacking her, and she was so upset she went running inside, and I can't remember which family member it was. I want to say it was a grandma. Went outside, and I might have to confirm this later, but, like, I'm pretty sure what happened is that the grandma went outside and grabbed the rooster and cover your ears.
Oh no, I think I know already.
And lobbed the head of the chicken off in front of my mom.
Oh no.
Because it was so mean, and they were worried that it was gonna, like, genuinely hurt her, like, put her in the hospital, hurt her. In which the body proceeded to then run around for a few seconds before collapsing. So,
oh my god.
My mom and chickens don't jive, which I understand. Because not only is it terrifying to have a chicken chasing and attacking you, it's also terrifying to watch the murder of a chicken happen. So, but that's our bird list. That's our current rating of the birds that we had. Our S tier list birds, I think, just deserve to be there. Pigeons, for sure. So, moving on to our normal segment. Jam, you have a fun fact?
I have 4.
I thought we were going in with one weird frog fact.
Yeah, we have that one and 3 others that I remembered.
Oh shit, let's go.
Okay, so the weird frog one is, I can't remember the name of the type of frog, but, like, over winter, it, like, slows down its breathing and stuff and allows itself to be fully frozen, and it's basically dead at this point. And it stays in this state all winter and finally, like, defrosts in summer and just hops around like nothing the fuck happened. Like, he
Ew.
dies over winter and comes back in summer.
Oh my god, it's a fucking zombie frog.
Yeah.
Yo, there's zombie frogs out here walking, well, I don't know, hopping around. That's terrifying. Ugh.
And have you ever heard of the mud skipper?
I feel like that name sounds really familiar. It's a type of frog? No, it's
Nope.
a type of fish.
Yeah. So it's a type of fish that can walk on land, and
No. Time the fuck out. Time out.
okay.
I'm a little baked. Did you just say that there's a fucking frog? No, a
Not
fish.
a frog. No. Yeah.
A lot of F words being thrown around right now, okay? It's hard to differentiate frogs and fish. There's a fish, I keep wanting to say frog, that can fucking walk on land.
Yep.
Does he fucking sprout legs?
No. So, whoa, I mixed up that name again. Mud skippers are a fish that live in swamps and on tropical coasts. They come right out of the water and scurry about on land using their muscular chest fins as crutches.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the actual... Why is the animal kingdom so fucked up? So you mean to tell me that this thing has got fucking muscular ass fins and it gets up on land and it just fucking across the
It
land?
scurries about. Yeah, it scurries.
Yo, that would freak me the fuck. Well, how does it breathe? It's a fish.
Mud skippers survive on land by filling their large gill chambers with water.
So they're drinking water, holding it in their mouths essentially.
Yeah.
Scurrying across. Why? What is the point? Why does this fish even exist? Is it trying?
I guess if there's like a flood or something, like, and they get trapped in a small pond and there's like no food or something, then they can fill up their gills and travel to an area where there's food and more water.
So it's a fish with a built-in RV for mobile transfer.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing. This is a fish who is evolved enough to say, you know what, I don't want to live here anymore. The food's ick. This isn't a great area. This is a bad neighborhood. I'm going to move out. And then just the water and says, all right, and then travel. What the fuck? What the fuck? Why? Like, I get it. Like, good on you for wanting to try to evolve and, like, you know, become more than... Bro, you're a fish. Get your ass in the water. If there ain't food, you fucking die. That's the circle of life. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, no!
Why the fuck are you... I don't... Look, I think the ocean is fascinating. I think rivers, I think aquatic creatures are fascinating. But how far does it go when you have fish that are trying to walk on land? Where does it end? When do the sharks start walking on? When do we get land sharks at that point? When does the megalodon that people say is extinct, and I don't think it is. I think it lives somewhere in the deep depths of the Bermuda Triangle. That's a whole other episode coming up.
Yeah, okay, good.
But, like, that, no. Stay where you belong. If you start getting on land, there might be issues. I'm just saying. You're putting yourself at risk.
I mean, there's another one, too, where, it's... I can't remember what type of fish it was, but, basically, like, the streets had flooded and everything, and there was just about enough water for fish to basically walk across, like, the roads and stuff.
I hate that idea.
And they were traveling to people's ponds, eating all, like, their expensive fish, and then just stopping to the next pond and eating everything, and then making their way back to, like, the waters that they came from.
Holy shit!
Yeah, and people... just empty ponds, like, what the fuck happened? And they go to the street and see these, like, an army of walking fish go back to where they came from.
That's terrifying. That's absolutely terrifying. You see what I mean, though? Like, any animal can be scary at some point, I think.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely think that even the most, like, innocent, harmless creature can somehow be menacing. I was trying to think of, like, a really innocent, non-menacing creature, but I can't think of anything. Like, you could say cats and dogs, but cats and dogs could be fucking dicks. So, like, what's a creature that has, like, no probability of being able to hurt anybody? Can you think of any animals that you you would like see it and be like, that absolutely could hurt no one ever. A sloth?
No, they could bite. They could like scratch with the claws.
Yeah, that's what
I mean. It would be very slow, but like
a slug.
It's sure.
Like, is that's not really an animal.
That's what I was thinking. It's not like considered an animal. Like I was gonna say a mouse, but them fuckers can bite.
Those fuckers will fuck you up. They'll chew your eyes out. I can't think of a single animal. If you guys can think of a single animal out there that is, and I mean without shadow of a doubt, that this animal would be completely harmless to people. Like, I mean, in the most bizarre scenario, if this animal could somehow hurt somebody, it doesn't count. If you can come up with an animal that embodies pure harmlessness and pure innocence.
You can't be saying shit like slugs or snails or like flies. It's got to be like a mammal, like an actual like animal.
It's got to be like an animal, like feathers, fur, hide. It's got to have something along, like it can't just be no fish, no crustaceans. It's got to be a furry, fuzzy type of thing. Put it in the comments, honestly, because I am curious to see what people think is a harmless, innocent animal. Because I can't think of anything off the top of my head that would embody perfectly harmless. Like, anything you come up with could
bite, scratch, or peck you.
Yeah, like, is there an animal out there that has no teeth and, like, if it bit you it wouldn't hurt? But even then I can't think of anything. What kind of toothless animals are out there surviving? You know? Anywho, that's gonna be a whole other thing. Let's continue on with our facts, because...
Yeah, 2 more. Did you know the blue-winged octopus spots only appear when it's angry or frightened?
Oh, good. So it stays hidden until it's gonna kill you.
Yeah,
also,
well, just don't disturb them.
Can we talk about the blue... Look, again, this is gonna segue into our next episode, which is essentially gonna be Ocean Soup.
Ocean Soup.
But can we talk about how fucking tiny the blue-ring octopus is as well? We're like...
Yeah.
This is why Australia is, like, the center of animals that want to kill us. Because this thing is so tiny, and it's really pretty, but it will murder you in, like, seconds. It's ridiculous. I mean, I don't know if it's seconds, but, like, it will kill you.
I have an extra fact about Australian things
that
will kill you. So this one wasn't going to be in here, but you just reminded me of, like, how scary Australian creatures are. So, in Australian waters, the scary sea wasp jellyfish is responsible for more deaths than sharks.
That I believe.
A jellyfish.
Shark attacks and people dying from sharks are so much more rare than people think they are.
Yeah, I know. I think it's crazy how, like, scared people are of sharks.
Yeah.
Like, from what I've, like, seen and, like, read and stuff, the only reason sharks do end up attacking people is usually surfers, because when they're on the surfboard, it looks like a seal.
Yes.
Like, literally, they're paddling and they're looking like seals.
It's gonna attack if it feels threatened. It's going to attack if it's in, like, starvation and there was no food and it is desperate. Or, like you said, it will confuse a surfboard for a seal, which is totally understandable from that angle. But yeah, sharks are not as deadly as people think they are. Jellyfish, on the other hand, I don't see the point of jellyfish, honestly. I think they're literally there to just harm everything and make everything say ow and kill it and kill everything that it touches. Not all of them, but majority of them. Jellyfish are like, what, 93% water? 95% water?
Just something stupid like that,
Just give them another 5%, make them water, put them in the ocean.
Just commit, put them in the ocean soup.
Just let them be the water. Let them not exist anymore. Jellyfish are dumb. Anywho, carry on.
The last one is, have you heard of the cuckoo bird?
Yeah. The
Did you know that
wait,
the parrot,
the kookaburra or the cuckoo?
the cuckoo,
Oh,
cuckoo,
like
yeah.
the cuckoo clock bird?
I mean, it's just called the cuckoo.
How do you spell it?
Cuck.
Oh, it's tiny.
Yeah. So you've never heard of this bird, right?
I mean, I did, but I didn't know it was like a bird. I thought it was like, like cuckoo clocks. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Well,
interesting.
the
Yep.
story I have about this bird is the parents are that lazy, they don't raise their own chicks. They lay eggs in other birds' nests, and when the cuckoo hatches, it pushes all the other eggs out of the nest, so that when it finally hatches, the parent won't be its own, and it will think that it's its own chick, and this bird will get like twice the size of like the parent bird, and still be getting fed. And it eventually just leaves and does the same thing to other nests, killing off the actual chicks of that nest and being raised by an adopted parent who has no idea that it's not its own chick.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That is confusing and weird. What a weird. You're right, this is a bird heavy episode. Alright, but I'm right. Never mind. Anywho, birds, heaviness, weirdness. Something's fucking wrong with birds. There's some great birds out there, but a lot of them are just like, why? Why do you do the weird shit you do? I'm struggling to wrap my head around. They think they're their own chick.
Yeah, like, they will outgrow the nest and the mother bird by like 2 or 3 times. And their mother will still feed them thinking, oh, you're just my baby, you're just extra chunky.
That is so fucking weird.
Like, I'll send you a photo of, like, what I'm looking at, and you can see for yourself. It's crazy.
That is bizarre to me that, like, the animal kingdom is fucking full of weird shit. Not even just weird creatures, but, like, some of these animals do the weirdest, most bizarre shit that you just can't explain why. It just makes no sense, but, like, that's just how they are. That's just how they function. That's what they do.
Yeah.
I think maybe that's why we're so fascinated by animals, because as a human species with the intelligence that we have, like, we couldn't fathom. Like, I mean, not that humans lay eggs. That would be interesting. That would be fucking weird. Could you imagine, though? Because, like, if humans laid eggs the way that birds laid eggs, does that mean that, like, because and this is getting into, like, a territory I don't necessarily want to go, but, like, when a bird lays an egg, it has to be fertilized by the male for it to become a baby chicken or a baby whatever, right? So if humans laid eggs, the male would have to fertilize the egg, so that would mean that if the eggs weren't fertilized, that we would have the equivalent of a chicken egg, but it would be like a people yolk.
Human omelet is what you're saying.
Yeah, like, how fucking bizarre is that to think about?
I hate that thought.
I just imagine, like, if you just think about, like, it would be a human-sized egg, so it would be like I guess like an ostrich-sized egg with people yolk in it. And you would crack it, and it would just look like a yolk, like an egg. But it would be from a people. That sounds like a weird, twisted, fucked up thing that we're just gonna, anywho, moving on. What's, I don't know what image you have, and I don't know what your other fun fact is, but please hurry, because I'm descending into the madness of people eggs, and this is not where the drug needs to be taking me right now. Send help!
I sent you the image.
Okay.
I don't know if you're gonna put it in or not, but, like...
Do chicks eat the same as their parents? Oh, oh my god, wait. So the thing on the right is the baby?
Yeah, the thing in the nest is the baby cuckoo chick. That's just a chick being fed by the adopted parent bird.
Yo, guys, this fucking baby could eat the parent and not blink twice. It's ridiculous. That's nuts. What the fuck? Yo, okay.
And like it says in the corner, the lesser white throat is feeding a cuckoo chick that hatched in its nest.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. What's the last fact?
Oh, that was it.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, wow. Whoo, boy.
Yeah.
Holy bagoly. The animal world is so fucking weird. It's so fucking weird. I mean, we just covered birds. You know what I mean? Like, we just talked about birds, and there's so many other animals out there that are just as weird and fucky as most of the birds we talked about. I also love that the shoebill stork somehow managed to get above F tier and above ducks. Wow. So yeah, so this I think we're gonna, have our little podcast come to an end for the day. This will probably be around where we sit for time, unless we get into some much deeper, crazier talk. But yeah, this is just gonna be the bird episode. We got a lot more stuff coming. The podcast is gonna drop every Friday, in the morning. And I'm gonna not sleep well tonight thinking about weird birds, and Hamish is gonna be in my nightmares. But yeah, so this has been Pigeon Podcast. I'm Sai. This is Jam. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of your day and a wonderful week. And until the next episode, we'll be talking to you guys. Bye, guys.
Goodbye.